Today we're going to take a look at the Doctor Who Doctors Revisited DVD series. This 3-volume set of DVDs was released in 2013 as part of the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. 50 years was a really big milestone for Doctor Who, which first aired in 1963 and was canceled in 1989. Long since believed dead, it was later revived in 2005. The show didn't just return to TV. It quickly became a global phenomenon and was wildly popular. It's a rare feat for a TV show to be revived and not ruined in the process, although many would argue, myself included, that as of 2026, the show has been driven into the ground. These DVD sets provide a good introduction and overview for each incarnation of the Doctor up to that point. Each disc focused on a single Doctor with a documentary and 2 different formats of a popular story for that Doctor. One version is the standard episodic format, and the other was the omnibus movie format. That format was likely included for newer fans who might have been turned off by the episodic format. The problem with the omnibus format is that they took the original 4:3 screen resolution and presented it in widescreen format, so that the picture framing is a little weird. The so-called widescreen versions included here are stretched, seemingly to accommodate modern viewers who lack the tolerance or appreciation for the original boxed full-screen format. In terms of extras, we've already discussed the documentary included for each Doctor, but we also get an introduction to each episode by then-current producer Steven Moffat. If you're interested in extras, you'd be much better served by getting the official DVD or Blu-ray releases for these stories, as the extras included in those releases are generally speaking excellent and far beyond what you get here. At the time, these DVD sets were a clever idea and offered a good introduction to each Doctor up to the then most current Doctor, Matt Smith. Nowadays, there's no shortage of material on YouTube that can serve that same purpose. Overall, the stories included in these sets offer a pretty solid lineup, and each one does a good job representing its Doctor. Set 1 focuses on the first 4 Doctors: William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, Jon Pertwee, and Tom Baker. For William Hartnell, we get the 1964 story, The Aztecs, one of the most respected historical stories from early Doctor Who. It's a good choice in my book. This set introduces Patrick Troughton in the 1967 story, The Tomb of the Cybermen, a very famous Cyberman story and a great example of Troughton's Doctor. Next up, for Jon Pertwee's era, we get Spearhead from Space, first aired in 1970. This is the first color Doctor Who story and introduction of the Autons. It's one of the best classic Doctor Who stories and certainly one of the best from Pertwee's era. A solid choice to be included here. And closing out the first DVD set, we have the 1975 Tom Baker story, Pyramids of Mars. This must have been a difficult choice as there are so many great Tom Baker stories, and Pyramids of Mars is certainly one of them. You can't fault the choice they made here to include it. Just a quick note before we continue. I've launched a website for this channel at justliketelevision.com where you can find Doctor Who themed t-shirts and mugs. The shop is still getting started with more designs on the way, so if you're looking for some cool Doctor Who merch or want to support the channel, be sure to check it out. Thanks so much. Now back to the video. I have mixed feelings for the stories included for this second set, which covers the eras of Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, and Paul McGann. The 1982 story Earthshock represents the Peter Davison era, and I'm not sure I would have picked this story. Yes, there's an interesting little sci-fi twist here about the event that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs, but it also contains a major character death that is a spoiler for anyone not familiar with classic Doctor Who. Personally, I would have picked The Visitation or Frontios. For Colin Baker, we have Vengeance on Varos from 1985. This is a highly regarded Sixth Doctor story. I'm not well versed on Colin Baker's tenure, so I can't offer any opinion here. Next up, we have the 1988 story, Remembrance of the Daleks for Sylvester McCoy. This is a very popular Dalek story and a fan favorite. Much like Colin Baker, I'm not well versed with Sylvester McCoy, so again, I can't offer much of an opinion here. This set is rounded out with a 1996 Doctor Who TV movie featuring Paul McGann. This is the only full story for Paul McGann and was meant to revive the show that had been off the air since its cancellation in 1989. Unfortunately, the Doctor Who TV movie landed flat on its face, making the tenure of Paul McGann the shortest of any Doctor up to that point. The last DVD set in the Doctors Revisited series includes stories from the modern era with Eccleston, Tennant, and Smith. For Christopher Eccleston, we get the two-parter Bad Wolf and The Parting of the Ways from the 2005 reboot of Doctor Who, and his last two episodes serving as the Doctor, which is an odd choice to serve as an introduction to him. We get two episodes from 2008 for David Tennant, The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. These are the last two episodes of Tennant's last proper season before we go into the 4 specials over the next 2 years, leading up to his regeneration into Matt Smith. And finally, for Matt Smith, we have the 2011 two-part story, The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon. These are the first 2 episodes of Season 6, right in the middle of his tenure. I don't have a lot to say about the choices here. There are certainly better episodes that could have been picked, but whatever. So there you have it. The Doctor's Revisited DVD sets functioned as a kind of essential Doctor Who starter kit, and it succeeds in what it intends to do. Personally, I didn't need any introduction to any of these Doctors, so I picked these up just for gits and shiggles, and they serve as an interesting part of my DVD collection, and I'm glad to have them on my shelf with my other DVDs. That's all for now. Please like and subscribe and check out our online store over at JustLikeTelevision.com.